My fiancé posted, "Just booked my dream bachelorette trip to Ibiza with my girls, can't wait." I commented, "Congratulations." I cancelled the wedding. My name is Ryan, I'm 32, and until about 6 months ago, I was engaged to a woman I'll call Madison. We'd been together for 4 years, engaged for 8 months, and I genuinely thought she was the one. Madison and I met through mutual friends at a concert. She was fun, spontaneous, always up for an adventure. I'm more of a planner, I'm an accountant, so that tracks, but I loved that she balanced me out. She brought excitement into my structured life. About a year into dating, we moved in together. That's when I started noticing some concerning patterns. Madison was terrible with money. Not just likes to shop bad, but genuinely had no concept of budgeting. She'd buy designer clothes on credit cards, book spontaneous weekend trips she couldn't afford, and somehow be surprised when her account was overdrawn. I tried to help. We sat down and created a budget together. I showed her how to track expenses, suggested she automate savings, the whole 9 yards. She'd nod along, promise to do better, and then 2 weeks later I'd find out she'd spent $800 at Sephora. But I loved her, so I told myself it was something we could work on together. When I proposed, romantic dinner, beach sunset, the works, she cried happy tears and immediately started planning the wedding. And I mean immediately. She had a Pinterest board with 847 pins before we even left the restaurant. That's when things got complicated. Madison's dream wedding was expensive. Really expensive. We're talking $80,000 for 200 guests at a luxury vineyard, designer dress, destination rehearsal dinner, the works. My budget was more like $30,000. We compromised at $45,000, which was still more than I was comfortable with, but she promised it would be the investment in our future. I agreed to cover most of it since I made more money. Madison was working as a social media coordinator making about $42,000 a year. We agreed she'd contribute $10,000 from her savings and help with planning to offset costs. Then came the bachelorette party situation. Madison announced that her maid of honor was planning an epic bachelorette weekend. At first, I thought she meant like a spa weekend somewhere nearby or maybe a trip to Vegas. Standard stuff. No. Her best friend Ashley had planned a week-long trip to Ibiza. First-class flights. 5-star resort. Boat parties. VIP club access. The works. How much is that going to cost? I asked carefully. Don't worry about it, Madison said. The girls are splitting everything. I found out later that Madison's share was $4,500. Remember, she was supposed to be saving for the wedding. When I asked her about it, she got defensive. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, Ryan. I'm only getting married once. Don't I deserve to celebrate? Of course you do, I said. But we agreed you were contributing to the wedding. If you spend $4,500 on Ibiza, that's almost half your entire wedding contribution. I'll figure it out, she said dismissively. I should have pushed harder. I should have made it a deal-breaker right then. But I didn't want to be the controlling fiancé who ruined her fun. A month before the wedding, I sat down to review our finances. We were at $38,000 spent with final payments coming due. According to our plan, Madison should have deposited her $10,000 into our wedding account by now. The account had $600 from her. I checked our shared expenses. Madison hadn't paid her half of rent in 2 months. When I looked at the credit card I'd given her for wedding emergencies, with a $5,000 limit, she'd maxed it out. The charges? Bachelorette trip expenses, new clothes for the bachelorette trip, pre-bachelorette spa day, post-bachelorette recovery brunch. I felt sick. That night, I asked her directly, Madison, where's your wedding contribution? She barely looked up from her phone. I told you, I'll figure it out. My mom might help. Your mom already paid for your dress. And the flowers. Madison, you've contributed $600 toward a wedding that's costing us $45,000. I've paid for almost everything. You make more money. Why is this a problem? Because we had an agreement. Because you're spending thousands on Ibiza while I'm covering our entire wedding and you're not even paying your share of rent. She rolled her eyes. Here we go. You're going to hold money over my head for our entire marriage, aren't you? That's not what this is about. No, it's exactly what this is about. You want to control me with your precious budget spreadsheets. Maybe if you knew how to have fun, you'd understand why experiences like Ibiza matter. I tried to stay calm. Can you cancel the trip? Or postpone it? We can plan something amazing for after the wedding when we're not financially stretched. She looked at me like I'd suggested she cancel Christmas. Cancel Ibiza? Are you insane? Everyone's already paid. Ashley planned everything. I've been posting about it for weeks. And that was the thing that stuck with me, I've been posting about it for weeks. Madison had 3,000 Instagram followers and treated social media like a part-time job. Her engagement announcement got 500 likes. She posted daily updates about wedding planning, always carefully styled and filtered. The Ibiza trip was scheduled for 2 weeks before our wedding. As the departure date approached, Madison's posts intensified. Countdowns. Outfit planning. Getting my pre-wedding glow in Ibiza captions with sun emojis. 3 days before she left, I tried one more time. Madison, I need you to understand how serious this is. We're $7,000 over budget. You haven't contributed what you promised. I've had to pull money from my retirement account to cover deposits. If you go on this trip, I need to know you understand we have a real financial problem. She hugged me, kissed my cheek, and said, "Stop worrying so much, babe. Everything will work out. It always does." It was like talking to a wall. The day she left for Ibiza, she posted a photo at the airport. "Just booked my dream bachelorette trip to Ibiza with my girls, can't wait," party face emoji, airplane emoji, champagne bottle emoji, hashtag bachelorette vibes, hashtag bride squad, hashtag living my best life. Wait. Just booked? She'd booked it 2 months ago. But I guess just booked sounded more spontaneous and fun for Instagram. I sat in our apartment, looking at that post, and something just broke. Not in an angry way. More like a moment of absolute clarity. I was about to marry someone who valued Instagram likes more than our financial stability. Someone who broke agreements and then got mad at me for caring. Someone who thought everything will work out was a financial strategy. I opened my laptop and started making calls. First, I called my lawyer buddy Tom and asked about wedding cancellation timelines and deposits. Then I called the venue. Then the caterer. Then the photographer. By the end of the day, I'd canceled everything I could cancel and calculated our losses. We'd lose about $12,000 in non-refundable deposits. That hurt. But it was less than half what I'd have lost by going through with the wedding and then divorcing someone who was already financially irresponsible before we'd even said I do. Then I left a comment on Madison's Instagram post, "Congratulations. I canceled the wedding." My phone exploded. Madison called me 17 times in the first hour. I didn't answer. Her friends started calling. I didn't answer. Her mother called, crying, begging me to reconsider. I politely told her that Madison could explain the situation and hung up. Madison's texts progressed through every stage of grief in rapid succession. "What do you mean you canceled the wedding? Ryan, answer your phone right now. This isn't funny. Call me back. Are you seriously doing this over money? You're ruining my bachelorette party. Everyone is staring at me, I'm humiliated. Fine. Fine. I'll cancel Ibiza. Is that what you want? Ryan, please, we can fix this. You're making a huge mistake. I can't believe you're this petty. And finally, you know what? You're right. We're not compatible. I deserve someone who supports my dreams." I responded to exactly one text, "I agree, we're not compatible. I hope you enjoy Ibiza. I'll have your things packed by the time you return." She stayed the full week. Her Instagram was a masterclass in fake happiness. Every post showed her partying, laughing, living her best life. But her friends later told me she cried every night and kept checking her phone obsessively. When she came back, I'd moved everything of hers into her friend Ashley's garage. I'd also drafted a clear financial separation document outlining what she owed me, half of the non-refundable deposits from the wedding, the back rent, the maxed-out credit card. She showed up at the apartment with Ashley and 2 other friends like she was leading a rescue mission. "Ryan, we need to talk," she said, pushing past me into the apartment. "There's nothing to talk about. Your stuff is at Ashley's. Here's the financial summary of what you owe me. My lawyer will be in touch about repayment terms." "Your lawyer? Are you serious right now?" "Completely serious." Madison's face cycled through emotions, shock, anger, desperation. Then she landed on manipulation. "Ryan, I love you. I made mistakes, okay? I should have been more responsible with money. But you can't throw away 4 years over one trip and some credit card debt. It's not about the trip, Madison. It's about the pattern. You make promises you don't keep. You prioritize appearances over reality. You spend money we don't have and expect me to fix it. And when I try to discuss it, you accuse me of being controlling. I'll change. I'll see a financial counselor. We can go to couples therapy. We should have gone to therapy a year ago when this started. Instead, you're offering to change now that there are consequences. That's not real change, Madison. That's panic. Ashley jumped in. Ryan, she made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. You're really going to throw away your relationship over money? I looked at Ashley, the one who'd planned the $4,500 Ibiza trip knowing Madison was supposed to be saving for a wedding. Ashley, with respect, this isn't your relationship. But since you asked, yes, I'm ending an engagement with someone who isn't ready for the financial partnership that marriage requires. Wouldn't you want your friend to marry someone who actually wants to marry her, not someone going through the motions while drowning in resentment? That shut her up. Madison tried for another 20 minutes, crying, arguing, promising, threatening. Finally, her friends convinced her to leave. The aftermath was messy. Madison posted vague quotes about fake people and learning who really has your back. Several mutual friends took her side, saying I was cold and calculating for canceling over just money. But others reached out privately to say they'd been worried about our financial dynamic for years. Madison's mom threatened to sue me for emotional distress. My lawyer sent a very polite letter explaining that wouldn't go well for them. 3 months after the canceled wedding, I got a call from Madison. She was crying, actually crying this time, not the manipulative tears. You were right, she said. About everything. I'm in credit counseling now. I've been reading about financial codependency. Ryan, I wasn't ready to be married. I wasn't even ready to be an adult. I treated you like a bank account and a safety net, and that wasn't fair. It was the first real accountability I'd ever heard from her. I appreciate you telling me that, I said. And I mean it, I hope you figure things out. Is there any chance? No, I said gently. But I genuinely hope you find someone who's right for you, after you work on being right for yourself. We haven't spoken since. Here's what I learned. Money problems in relationships aren't actually about money. They're about values, respect, and follow-through. Madison didn't have a spending problem, she had a priority problem. And no amount of love could fix the fundamental incompatibility of how we viewed responsibility. I'm dating someone new now. On our third date, she suggested we split a nice dinner, then pack sandwiches for our hike the next day to save money for a concert we wanted to see. I almost proposed right there. The $12,000 I lost in wedding deposits? Best money I ever spent. If you made it this far, drop a comment with your thoughts. Have you ever had to make a hard choice like this? Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.